Cupcakes by Sergeant Sprinkles, world's greatest party clown. This is my first attempt at reading a fan-fiction and making a video of it, so excuse me if I make any mistakes. Also, I'm reading the first version of this, so if my grammar sounds weird while reading this, it's just because I'm trying to read off this. Anyways. The air was warm, the sun was shining, and all of Ponyville was having a glorious day. The town square was bustling and crowded. Busy ponies were making their busy way through the streets. All the pony folks in there have somewhere to be. All except Rainbow Dash. Her place was in the sky. She freely tore through the air, speeding one way and the next. She buzzed the treetops and raced the wind. The Pegasus swooped over her schoolyard, much to the delight of the children. Climbing several hundred feet, she dove, going as fast as she could. Seconds before hitting the ground, her wings flew open and she took off back into the clear blue. Rainbow felt alive. Then she remembered that she had somewhere to be. She's supposed to meet with Pinkie Pie in 5 minutes. She'd gotten so caught up in her exercises that she nearly forgot. Pinkie had asked Dash to meet her at Sugar Cube Corner at 3. She didn't say why or what they'd be doing, but Dash knew that with Pinkie it could be anything. She wasn't sure if she really wanted to go, though. She was so engaged with her stunts that she thought about blowing Pinkie off to continue flying. But Dash's conscience got the better of her. She knew that it would hurt Pinkie's feelings after all. She said that it was going to be something special just for the two of them. She considered it and thought, why not? Gee, what if she had to lose? Heck, it might be more pranking. Pinkie might have found a bunch more fun to pull off. Pinkie might have found a bunch more fun stuff to pull off on folks. They had so much fun last time. Dash kicked into overdrive, mostly to make up for lost time, and sped to her appointment. When she walked into the store, she was immediately greeted with her host bouncing in excitement. "Yeah, you're here! I've been waiting all day," said the jumping pony. "Sorry if I'm a little late, Pinkie. I was doing my afternoon exercises and lost track of time." Dash apologized. Pinkie giggled and responded, her tone gleefully reassuring. "Oh, that's okay. You're here now. What's a few more minutes? I've been so excited thinking about all the fun stuff we're gonna do. I haven't stopped bouncing since I woke up. I mean, I almost forgot to breathe. I've been so happy." Dash gave a slightly uncomfortable laugh. She always appreciated Pinkie's friendly, outgoing way of life, but her overabundant enthusiasm almost creeped her out. Dash was polite, however, and Pinkie got this worked up. It had to be good, whatever it was. So you ready to get started, Rainbow Dash? I've got everything all ready," the pink one said. Dash psyched herself up. "You betcha, Pinkie. What do you got planned? You got to prank somebody? I got a couple of cool ones I've been thinking about. Or maybe it was just stumps you think I should try? Or maybe making cupcakes," Pinkie happily announced. "Baking?" Dash was disappointed. "Pinkie, you know I'm not good at baking. Remember the last time?" "Oh, that's not a problem at all. I just need your help making them. I'll be doing the most of the work," Pinkie explained. Dash thought about it for a second and replied, "Well, alright, I guess that's okay. What exactly do you need me to do?" "That's the spirit. Here you go." Pinkie handed Dash a cupcake. Dash was puzzled. "I thought I was going to help you bake." "You will be. I made this one just for you before you got here. So is this like taste testing or something?" "Sorta," Pinkie said. Dash struggled and popped the pastry in her mouth. She chewed a bit and swallowed. "Not bad." "Okay, now what?" Dash asked. "Now," Pinkie informed, "to take a nap." Upon hearing that, Dash felt lightheaded. Her world spun around her, and seconds later, she dropped to the floor. When Dash regained consciousness, she found herself in a dark room. She tried to shake her head, but found that the taut leather strap kept it firmly in place. She struggled to move, but the braces around her head and limbs glued to her upright planks. Her legs were spread wide apart. The only part of her not tied down were her wings, as the frame was backless. As she arrived, Pinkie jumped into her line of sight. "Goody, you're awake. Now we can get started," she gleefully stated. She was pushing a cart covered in with a cloth. "Pinkie, what's going on? I can't move," Dash said in a worry. "Well, duh, you're tied down," Pinkie chided. "That's why you can't move. I didn't think it'd be needed to told that." "But why? What's happening? I thought you said I was going to help make cupcakes." "You are helping. You see, I ran out of the special ingredient. I need you to get more." "Special ingredient?" Dash was now breathing heavily and started to panic. "What special ingredient?" Pinkie giggled and responded. "You, silly." Dash's eyes widened. Her face contorted in fear. Then she started to laugh. Woo, really got me there, Pinkie Pie. I mean, tricking me into thinking I'm gonna get made into a cupcake. I gotta tell you, this is the best prank yet. You win, you're the best. Pinkie giggled even more. Aw, thanks, Dash. I haven't done pranks today, so I can't accept your praise. Didn't Dash was struggling again. Pinkie, come on, this isn't funny. Then why are you laughing? Pinkie grabbed a cloth and whipped it off the cart. The top of the tray contained various sharp medical tools and knives carefully organized and ready. There was a medicine bag and several other objects next to them. Dash was now in full panic mode. She was starting to hyperventilate. Her mind was racing and she tried to reason with the pink pony. You can't do this, Pinkie. I'm your friend. I know you are, and that's why I'm so happy that I've got you here. We get to share your last moments together, just you and me. She was skipping again. But the other ponies will wonder where I am. When the clouds pile up, they'll come looking for me. Then you'll get found out. Dash was desperate. Oh, Dash, Pinkie said, don't worry, there are plenty of Pegasus to take care of a few clouds. And besides, no one will find out. I mean, how long do you think I've been doing this? And with that, the lights suddenly came to life and showcased the rest of the room. Oh, God, no. Dash reeled in horror in the image presented to her. The room was decorated with a typical but twisted Pinkie Pie flair. Colorful streamers of dried intros danced around the ceiling. Brightly painted skulls of all sizes were stuck to the walls, and organs stone up in pastels and filled with helium and tied to the backs of chairs. The tables and chairs were made of bones and flesh of past ponies. Dash cringed at the centerpiece of the table nearest to her, the heads of 4 fools, with their eyes closed so that they were sleeping, wearing party hats made from their own skin. She recognized them as one of Apple Bloom's classmates. Her eyes started back and forth as she gazed up at the patchwork banner hanging from the rafters, made from several pony hides. The words, "Life is a party," were scrawled in red. Dash's attention was stolen by the party horn unfurling and tickling her nose. She saw Pinkie's eyes standing in front of her. The party pony was wearing a dress quilted from cutie marks. On her back fluttered 6 Pegasus wings, all different colors. Then, as she skipped in excitement, her necklaces of unicorn horns loudly clacked together. Like it? She asked. I made it myself. Dash pleaded. Pinkie, please. I'm sorry if I did anything to you. I didn't mean it. Please let me go. Promise I won't tell anybody. Oh, Dash. You didn't do anything. Just that your number came up and, well, I don't make the rules. We can't turn back now. Rainbow Dash was tearing up. How could this be happening? Aw, don't be sad, Dash, Pinkie said. Look, this'll cheer you up. I brought you a friend. Out of seemingly nowhere, Pinkie displayed a blue and yellow painted skull. It was about pony size, but it had a very defining feature. A beak. Dash was freaking out. Is that... Hey, Dash, let's hang together. These ponies are lame-os. Dweez, Pinkie mimicked. I caught her right before she left town. I remember when I left the party for about 20 minutes. That wasn't enough time to play with her, of course. I had to wait until after the party to do that, but boy, am I glad I did. It was worth the flavor alone. Griffins taste like 2 animals at once. It's amazing. Now, she didn't have the number like everyone else in Ponyville, but when I was going to get her a chance to try a Griffin, I probably should have asked where she came from so I can get more, but I forgot. I'll tell you what, though, she was quite the fighter. It lasted a long time, which was fun for me. I got the chance to play with somebody other than Pony and try new things. It's too bad she didn't have. It's too bad she had such a potty mouth. She had said so much bad stuff. I had to take her tongue out. You know, bad language makes for bad feelings, Dash. Pinkie didn't have anything to say. Dash didn't have anything to say. She just sobbed and writhed. Well, Pinkie said, putting the skull down, that's enough reminiscing. It's time to begin. She picked up a scalpel and walked over to Dash's right flank. Without any flair, she placed the blade an inch above her cutie mark and saw a circular cut around it. Her lungs were working overtime. Dash shouted in pain and tried desperately to pull away, but the braces held her still. Finishing incision, Pinkie grabbed the curving blade skinning knife from the tray. She worked it under the skin and sliced the hide away from the muscle. Dash ground her teeth as she tearfully washed as her flesh came off. Pinkie then moved to the other side and completed the other flank. When she was done, Pinkie held up both kitty marks in front of her friend and started waving them like pom-poms. Dash just whispered. Her thighs burned. Placing the skin down, Pinkie selected a larger butcher knife and walked past behind Rainbow Dash. I hope you don't mind. I think I'm gonna wing it now. Pinkie laughed. She grabbed the left one and played with it for a second. Then, stretching the wing out, she brought the blade down at the base, and instantly Dash screamed and trashed her appendage. The woman threw off Pinkie Pie's aim. She tried to hit the mark again, but missed wide and put a huge slice on Rainbow's back. Dash, you gotta stay still, or else I'll keep missing. She took another whack and hit the target. She swung again, blood splaying into the air, but realized she wasn't getting anywhere. The blade was just wasn't going through the bone. I guess I forgot to sharpen it. Let's try something else, she stated as she tossed the knife over her shoulder, the blade embedding itself in the table. The crying Rainbow Dash heard the sound of a metal box opening and closing. Got it! Say, Dash, why did they call it a hacksaw? It doesn't hack. Hack is what I was doing with a knife. This is a saw. I don't get it. Pinkie Pie placed the tool over the last attempt. It ever sailed through the bone and skin. The painful feeling of her teeth grinding, biting into her, made Dash want to vomit. She watched helplessly as her wing flew out over her head and landed with a fluff on the table. Pinkie watched and moved to the next and started sawing. Dash didn't struggle this time. She gave up trying to fight and just cried. Then the sawing paused. Pinkie was only halfway done, the wing hanging only by a silver sliver. Hey, Dash, she piped up. Think fast! Suddenly, she yanked the wing as hard as she sure could. The bone snapped, but the skin held tight. The pull ripped a long strip of flesh down Dash's back to her rump. The unexpected trauma caused her body to seize. She felt the warm release between her legs as her pelvis tensed up. Dash's loud, unending melody of pain filled the room. Unable to catch her breath, she blackened out. She awoke with a gasp. The stench of her urine filled mucus-caked nostrils. She saw a very pouty Pinkie Pie moving the adrenaline needle from her chest. Stomping her hooves, a frustrated Pinkie Pie lashed out. Didn't anybody teach you to matter? It's very rude to fall asleep when somebody invites you over to spend time with them. How would you like it if I came over to your house and went to sleep? Oh, I'm sorry, Dash. You're boring. I think I'll take a nap. You think I like always doing this by myself? Did I tell you how excited when I found out you were next? I'm excited when you had a friend over here with me while I worked, but no, you gotta be inconsiderate. I thought you were tough. I thought you could handle anything. I've had fools stand up better than you. Do I have to baby you, huh? Is that how you want me to remember you? As a baby? She stopped to catch her breath. Dash blinked and softly cried. Her back was on fire. Pinkie then popped something red into her mouth and began to chew. She noticed Dash was staring at her. What? She asked. Oh, Liz, hung up my earpiece. Well, while you were asleep, I got a little impatient and held myself to a sample. I got it from your leg. You're not bad. Want to try some? Without waiting for a response, she shoved the strip of meat into a revolted Rainbow Dash's mouth. She immediately spat it out. Pinkie picked it up. If you didn't want it, you could have said no. Then she ate the discarded side morsel. It's like you haven't had it before. Swallowing, she turned her attention to a small can on the tray. She removed the lid, revealing that it was filled with burning coals. Sitting on top of it was a fire. Sitting on top of the fire were several large nails. Dash began to panic again. Pinkie picked up the can and walked over to Dash's left. Carefully picking up the nail and grabbing a hammer, she positioned the spike at the seam between her leg and her hoof. No, Pinkie, no! Dash screamed. No! The hammer came down and the nail punctured her skin. The white-hot burning was too much. Dash pulled and thrashed at the brace. Her skin rubbed and tore. Pinkie tried to line up another one, but couldn't find her aim. She let out a frustrated grunt. When she pulled the hammer, she'd take a wild swing. Dash burst out crying and begging, Please stop! Please stop! Pinkie rolled her eyes. Putting the hammer back down, she walked back in front of her friend. She stared pensively at the broken Pegasus. Gilda didn't even cry this much when she stuck the live parrot right down her throat. Pinkie thought for a minute about what to do next. Then there was a sudden spark in her imagination. She grabbed the gear wheel and rack and laid Rainbow Dash on her back. She moved to Dash's hind legs, bringing the can with her. Pinkie picked up the hammer again, and she drove a searing piece of metal into the bottom of Dash's hoof. Dash screamed again. Pinkie put one on the other hoof. Next, she located a small generator on the tray, tying the copper wires to the nails. She gave Dash a wink and flipped the switch. Electricity rocketed through Dash's body. The blue pony reacted immediately. Body seized, muscles struck taut, her hips thrusted skywards, and her eyes rolled back. She let out a deep, throat-shredding cry. Pinkie giggled and danced in place. She turned out the juice. Dash convulsed uncontrollably. Her bladder emptied once more. After 5 minutes, Pinkie shut off the power. The area smelled lightly of cooked flesh and burnt enamel. She put Dash upright again and tried snap the delirious and drooling pony back to attention. Dash, wake up! Rainbow Dash ran to give her a modicum of weak acknowledgement. Pinkie reached into the medicine bag and produced a large syringe. All right, time for the last round. Dash looked at the needle, and Piggy took it as a question of what it was. It's not going to take the pain away. She informed as she walked around Dash's ruined backside. She struck the needle into the lower part of her spine. Dash flinched. Coming to the front again, she told her friend, in a few minutes you won't be able to feel anything below your ribcage. Then you'll be able to stay awake and watch the harvest. Dash started to cry again. Big Pinky, she trembled down. Yeah? I want to go home. Dash openly sobbed. Yeah, I can see you wanting to do that, the party pony replied. Sometimes I just want to give and say, I'm done with this mess, and go to bed. But you know what? You can't shrug off your responsibilities. You gotta pull yourself up and meet the challenges head on. That's the only way you're gonna get ahead in life, Dash cried. Minutes passed and the drug took effect. Dash was numb from her chest to her flanks. Aware of this, Piggy reposed with her scalpel, and only a smiling glance to Dash. She made a long cut across her pelvis, just above the crotch. When her upper body, she drew a similar incision under her ribs. One final cut was made down her stomach, connecting the first two. Looks like I got my eye on you, Dash. She, with a loose going sound, the new door flapped open. The sight of her own organs and laughed a feeling Dash caused Dash's breathing to intensify. Piggy sliced open the abdominal sac and grabbed the large intestines, separating from the rest of the digestive tract and pulling them from the forming cavity. Piggy was getting jovial and started making jokes. Dash, growing weaker from new sorts of blood loss, tried to shut out the comedy act. Piggy was laughing. Look at me, I'm Rarity, she said, slinging a tube around her neck and spraying blood in all directions. Isn't my scarf so pretty? Reaching back in, she cut the smaller intestine off the bowels, squeezing out the excess excrement. Piggy filed it through her teeth and dragged it back and forth. Dentist gotta say you gotta floss every day, Dash. Namely, Dash was barely aware of what was going on anymore. The shock was causing her to fade. Piggy got disappointed. Diving back into the guts, she ramped up the routine. Aw, don't go yet, Dash, she started pulling out the rest of the organs. Stomach needs one. You know, I know I could be a real pancreas, but you know I'm just kidney with you. You really gotta learn to liver it up. Boy, these jokes are getting bladder. Guess you gotta develop a stomach for 'em. She placed the discarded body parts into the bucket, keeping the last one for a bit longer. Ooh, bagpipes, she said, placing the tube in her mouth and an organ in her armpit. The spore of acid hit her tongue. Ew. Oh, hey, here's your cupcake, Dash. Dash didn't hear her. She had slipped from consciousness minutes ago. Pinky, not satisfied yet, hit her with another adrenaline shot. Dash woke up for the last time, her heart jumping. Her blood flowed out faster. It wouldn't be long now. Pinky put Dash on her back and straddled her chest, scalpel ready. Yeah, I know, Dash. I'm disappointed. I thought you could last longer. I really wanted to spend more time with you before we got here. But I guess that's my fault. I should have taken it a little bit slower. Oh well, it was really nice to own you, Dash. The blade sunk into the blue one's throat and worked its way up her chin. Coming back down and sucking around her neck, the last thing Dash felt was her skin being cut away from her skull, the metal scraping her teeth. Then she was gone. Pinky stared into a mirror. She did a really good job, even in keeping the eyelids. Pinky, she winked. Dash winked back. Pinky smiled. But still, she was sad that her friend was now gone. It only lasted 15 minutes, not nearly as long as she wanted. She looked down at the cadaver hanging there in the center of the room. The last of its fluid draining into a pan. Yep, no more Rainbow Dash. Then, Piggy cocked her head. She was beginning to take notice of the fact there really wasn't that much damage. In fact, she began to think, an idea exploded in her head. She was good at sewing as she had all the pieces. All she had to do was put her back together. Yeah, get some sewing and bingo, she'd have a Rainbow Dash forever. In fact, that's what she'd do to all of her friends when her numbers came out. She was so excited she skipped over to the body with the Skinner to get started. The Cupcakes can wait. Piggy had a friend to make. Epilogue. Silver Spoon suddenly woke up. She was on her back and couldn't move. She couldn't see. Where was she? Freaking out, she was about to scream when a pony from the bakery appeared in front of her. Hi, she giggled. Where am I? What's going on? The frightened little fool asked. Well, you see, your number came up and I gotta make more cupcakes, Piggy explained. What does that mean? What are you talking about? Oh, nothing. I wouldn't worry if I was you. It'll be over soon, she approached the girl, scalpel at the ready, with a small voice called out from behind. Miss Piggy, what are you doing? She paused and turned to look at Apple Bloom, the yellow baby pony, and walked up to her with an angry look on her face. Silver Spoon started to feel relieved. I can't believe you're doing this, she spouted. You said that this one was going to be mine. Pinky apologized. Oops, sorry about that. I guess I forgot. Here you go. She handed the blade over. Apple Bloom climbed on the table and stood over her prey. Silver Spoon tried to struggle. She stared in fear at Apple Bloom and her apron. The pink apron with a shiny tiara on it. Silver Spoon started to cry. Apple Bloom grinned and opened her mouth. Hey, Silver Spoon, guess who's gonna be a blank flank? End of fanfiction.